watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it made us all sad.
I'm vengeance.
And hello to this camera, and welcome back.
No, it's whack.
Give me more, man.
And then he goes, fuck. Where were we even going?
And welcome back to Comics and Cold. It's a very weird to get into after that. But as Cameron just said, we just last week watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movie the night it came out, and we're going to give you our thoughts and how it emotionally broke me.
Are we doing no spoilers first? No spoilers to start?
Yeah, we'll go no spoilers, talk about it, and then we'll give the warning.
No spoilers will not be long because I feel like we really want to get into
the
this.
spoilers.
I don't really know what I can say non-spoiler
It's-
beside it's sad.
It's a really good completion of a story, and it feels like an actual
Yeah.
like conclusion of just their story.
Yeah, this is like probably one of the best bookends of
Like-
any MCU thing that we've gotten so far.
Best trilogy.
Almost
There's
like in general.
For sure.
I'm sort
Yeah.
of glad we know the fact, and it's probably that James Gunn's not coming back to do more Guardians movies
Yeah.
because of how this ends.
We'll get to the spoilers.
Well,
Because there's things that we need to discuss. Best MCU trilogy. Universal agreement.
oh
Yeah.
yes.
The tone of it's like right from the start. You get what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
It's pretty
yeah.
heavy. It's
Yeah.
pretty heavy shit that they're working with, especially for a Guardians movie. Like,
They're supposed to be
So
the jokesters
emotional.
and everyone gets their moment, man.
well, I mean, Guardians movies, like Guardians 1 is what kind of kicked off the whole everybody's quipping, everybody's joking all the time in the MCU thing. Guardians kind of was the head of that. That's started that and kind of changed the MCU into that jokey sort of thing that it is now.
Yeah.
Which I mean can be good and can be bad, but I mean like Guardians was the first
start.
of the silliness.
The good thing about the Guardians movies, and they showed perfectly in this one, is there's a time and a place for those silly quips, and the Guardians movies hit it better than any other of the Marvel movies.
It's got to
tried
take a sec.
It's almost
before-
like James Gunn knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean James Gunn he wrote the he wrote
all
the,
three of them.
The chemistry here, like he's
Had the whole thing mapped
Had it all-
out
had
since
it all
Guardians
planned
1,
out.
and it
Yeah,
never
yeah.
shifted.
No, he did shift. He said in an interview because of Avenger stuff. He had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
one
That's just
person.
something I really want to get into.
But
at one
yeah,
point.
that's spoiler.
Yeah.
That's
I
not a
know
spoiler.
I know what you're talking about, and we'll get into that
Yeah.
later.
What Nebula kills it in this.
Nebula's
she,
so
she
good.
is
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
Nebula's so good.
I think every person. I don't think there was.
There's
a
no bad acting
weak
in it, but
part.
Nebula is by far the best.
I think this was
I think Vin Diesel did an incredible job in this
on,
one.
on his last line. He did, yeah.
Nebula, I think has probably one of the best arcs
In
has
the entire
been
in
MCU.
all of the MCU.
I think her and Rocket both do.
I know. I think Nebula
Like
has a
they're
better one.
probably
Yeah.
up there for. Well, she was like second hand villain in the first one.
On the opposite
Yeah.
side of that, I'll say Gamora probably has one of the worst arcs.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was.
It's like a reverse arc.
But
Yeah.
I think in the spoilers when we talk about that James Gunn thing, we can get in a little more to the
yeah.
why there was that.
There was a trade off, and you know
Yeah.
what he did very good with what he was the.
Well, I
cards
think we can say that he didn't plan on killing Gamora
No.
in Infinity War.
he was going to
He
kill
was
her
gonna
in the
kill her.
second one.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
gonna kill her in Volume 2.
And then there was, I can't remember what the whole thing
He
was.
wanted-
He was, and then didn't.
Yeah.
He wanted her to be the person that died and gave Quill that emotion that Yondu
which
did.
turned into Yondu.
Yeah.
Yondu. Yeah.
But then when the Russos asked, "Hey, can we kill Gamora?" He goes, "Yeah, sure, we'll keep that. No, then I'll do this."
yeah.
Because
What-
like he never had a plan for Gamora to come back. Then, like,
No, she was going to
like
be done
she,
after
yeah,
two.
she was just
Yeah,
gonna be
true.
done. So it makes sense of why her character seems stale. Because he's like, "Oh well,
I,
I
wouldn't
have
say
to
she
do
seems
this."
stale.
But it was like she didn't really have a place to go, and then she. Anyway, it's
Did you hear him talk about in the interview before Guardians the song that he had to fight the most to get
Come on. Yeah. Fucking.
out of like all the songs?
Fleetwood Mac, wasn't it?
No, it was. I think it was Mr.
Mr. Blue Sky. He
Blue
said he
Sky.
had to call them every day for like 6 months.
Yeah.
The fucking most. I think he paid like $10 million or something for
But
it.
he said like most of the other creators like really just
And he
like
said- he
Guardians,
said,
and
He-
they were all on board with like
Yeah,
He
a
said
lot-
the Beastie Boys reached out to him and were like, put it on the
The
soundtrack.
Beastie
Yeah.
Boys did it. He said Fleetwood Mac.
Mac.
He asked them, and they
They were
watched
actually-
the movie.
yeah,
He
they
said,
were
what
like,
was the selling point? They watched the movie and liked it, and they
Yeah.
took it.
Not to mention it like just being in the movie has like I mean for like
Skyrocketed like
Rebels
every-
like Come and Get Your Love is like
that went up
Well,
there.
huge.
There's so many like 70 songs, 80 songs, like those movies that people our age wouldn't know
If
Yeah.
you,
if
Absolutely.
it wasn't for these movies.
I want to do a fact check. This should only take
like
me
you
2
guys
seconds.
are huge music guys. He's
Yeah.
already know these songs, but like me, I'm like, oh, that song's cool.
Yeah. But I think, man, getting
Number 2 on Fleetwood Mac's Spotify is The Chain,
yeah,
and that's Guardians related.
yeah.
Dreams is number 1. And
Not
that's
necessarily-
because of the
it's
cranberry
meme
juice.
related.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily that's why, but like,
But
it's
that's-
definitely a big factor.
Yeah.
It's
definitely
also
boosts.
a great
Yeah.
song.
If you look, who does Come Get Your Love? Redbone.
Redbone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably number 1.
Yeah,
That's also the theme
definitely.
song for F is for
Hooked
Family.
on a Feeling's got to be like
Easily number 1.
so. Yeah. Yeah. I think Guardians 3 is my new favorite MCU movie.
It's up there.
It's up
It's-
there.
I don't think it's I don't
five.
think it's the best, but I think it's my new favorite.
I think it might be up there for the best.
I
As
think
a favorite, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's. Oh yeah.
I got my
yeah.
boys.
Bring me pictures of
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
But I think it's like for most people, I think it could fall within top 5 for a
Easy.
lot
Well,
of a
top
lot of
5
people.
for me.
I think
100%.
It's definitely top
I think
5.
most Marvel fans, any Guardians, either the first or second, would have been in their top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if not 5, then 10.
I don't think I've seen anybody say anything bad about
This
it.
is me
Like
petitioning,
hugely bad.
me saying that Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame should not be considered a top 5. It's a fucking cheat code.
It's not
It
fair.
shouldn't be. Anytime you're asked to rank these your personal favorites, you shouldn't be allowed to count Infinity War and Endgame unless you say you don't like them.
But
Because it's not
if you
fair.
count them as one movie.
I
Then
think
go
that's
on
me.
one.
All
And
right.
anyway,
Any last thoughts before we go?
I think the only sort of nitpicking that I can give it, and I've seen other people give a similar thing, is this is definitely of the 3 the weakest soundtrack.
it is.
I think, and even like some of the moments of the when the music comes in is kind of like it doesn't flow as good as it does in some of the other movies.
I'm going to spoil one right here because the Adam Warlock one. That
Yeah.
one really upset me.
Yeah,
Because that would have been gold if it kept going.
if
and
it kept
didn't.
going, and a lot of them are just like they hit these moments, and then it was just kind of like they got
It
rid of
fades
it.
off,
And
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like in 1 and 2, there's a lot better of
Or
like
playing like fully.
Well, it's like
No,
it's
third one.
integrated into the scenes better in like 1 and 2, and they kind of
It's
flows
When
better.
they do in the second one, when Rocket does Southern Nights,
Yeah.
he's playing that like to
Yeah.
himself, and then it goes into the
Well,
whole.
well,
Yeah, like every
Rocket has moments like that.
yeah,
in
and
this.
they're always like this. I mean, even in 3, I can't say that he doesn't do it, but like I feel like it's always like organic. The music is always organically in the scene. Like it's not just the music is playing over
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
but I feel like they almost kind of got rid of that a little bit in this, where
there was
I don't know. I'm kind of on a tangent here, but
Yeah,
I feel like it just doesn't flow as
there
well.
was a
as in
couple
the
times
first
I
and
felt
second
like
ones.
they played music just to fill in. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily needed, or it went a little longer
Yeah.
than needed, but it was just to fill in.
So help me God if you say the creep scene, I'm going to be
No,
upset.
the creep scene was perfect.
And some of the songs, I feel
It
like they
was
just.
morely when they were flying.
I feel like some of the songs just missed. You know,
I
they-
think
they-
Crazy on You
Could have been better.
but it was one of the
Yeah.
the biggest misses
Yeah.
because that was an introduction and like Crazy on You was
Like banger.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Banger. That's like everybody knows like that one. That's a big one.
And-
And they fumbled it. I think.
He
and
could've had it
and
for
while
both.
I did think he was really, really good, I feel like Adam Warlock in the story was a little shoehorned.
Yeah.
No, but I
They-
have,
like,
I,
they-
I
they
can- I have
definitely-
a defense for that.
They
though.
definitely he definitely worked, and he definitely was like a great addition to the movie. But like there was a lot of scenes that it was just like, oh, also he's here.
I,
I have a defense
you
for
can
that,
go
but,
first, and then I have a thing.
I don't want to get into it until the spoiler zone.
I'm trying to wait for all the.
Well, you guys, well,
Let's
like
just-
I mean, general
Yeah.
thoughts.
My,
if you
my
just wanna
thing
give
for
a-
Warlock, and I think we can do a little non-spoiler
yeah,
because it's what stuff we've seen in the trailers.
Mhm.
Warlock was always set up to semi-fail, I think, because we waited 7 years for this giant
I disagree with that.
villain, and he wasn't a giant villain.
he was the side villain,
Yeah.
which is like James Gunn does it. He said it. He does
Yeah.
it in every movie he does as he wants.
Yeah.
There's the big bad, and then there's this side bad that's also
My defense for him would be that in this movie, he's really young, supposed to
no.
be.
Yeah.
I'm not. But I'm not
No,
talking about his
I-
inability. I'm just
that's-
talking about in scenes. He just shows up,
Yeah.
and then he's like, then they just immediately dispatch him, and he
Yeah.
just kind of like.
I think
I
he
don't
was-
mean like they underpowered him because they make
No.
they make
They
sense of
underused
that.
Yeah.
They under you.
And
I mean
that's-
they do underuse him, but like I feel like he feels very much like it was like fuck, Adam Warlock is supposed to be in this.
Yeah.
I feel like he did this whole high evolutionary story, Rocket's backstory, and he went, oh, Adam
Yeah.
Warlock is supposed to be in this too. I've been teasing him. He's got to be in this. And then he's like, okay, well, it'll make sense if I bring him in here. Okay, well, we can kind of do this and then that, and then like
And
he put him in, but
personally, in my head, I think I hyped up Adam Warlock too much to me.
yeah,
And that's why to him was. I still loved it. Like, it was great. Like, what he did.
It wasn't
Worked.
bad in the role.
I still think he was great.
But
I
it
love
was
Will
just
Poulter.
a little
Really-
underwhelming to me because I hyped him up too much.
in the scenes that he's in,
Will-
he's hilarious. He
Will
kills
Poulter's
them.
great. Yeah.
I just think the reasoning for him showing up at times is just kind of like
Yeah.
Wrong.
of how good this movie is. I feel like that's some of the weakest
Yeah.
parts of it, which is saying a lot because it's still really good.
Give it time, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still
I
great.
think he's gonna get his moment.
He does have
Oh, yeah,
a
absolutely.
phenomenal. He does have a
Absolutely.
phenomenal introduction though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not at all bad mouthing Adam Warlock or Will Poulter's portrayal of him. I just
you know
mean
what? I
the
think
parts where
this
he's in the
is
story
where we jump into spoiler
Yeah.
because we can start off with the start of the movie with his crazy
Fuck it, let's do
introduction.
it. We're getting into it.
Spoiler review.
In 3, 2, 1, go. Adam Warlock gets introduced to Crazy on You and whoops the Guardians' asses.
Not
Yeah.
all of them.
And then he doesn't even get his ass.
No, he
beat.
gets his stab.
He gets
Stabbed,
beat.
and he
Yeah.
runs off.
Yeah, but he gave 4
He got
Four in Kraglin.
because he took Rocket out right away.
Took Rocket out.
Then he fucked
He
around with
fucked-
Drax,
he
fucked
fucked
around with Nebula.
Nebula.
Yeah.
Destroyed
Well,
Groot.
he took out
Groot.
Nebula first,
Yeah.
and then
Because she's the one that got him in the end.
yeah, and then Drax,
Rocket was first.
or then Groot.
Yeah, he,
Yeah.
destroys-
Rocket wasn't
he
first.
destroys
Rocket
He got
Groot.
wasn't
Groot.
first.
He got Groot.
Groot
It
was just
it
ahead.
Nebula, Groot, Drax, then Rocket.
And then he breaks Mantis's arm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a cool.
at the
That's
same
a
time. And Kraglin tries to hurt him
Yeah.
and doesn't do anything.
Who does that?
Who threw that at me? Baby.
And that's like he came in so powerful there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's gonna be a
Drax,
problem.
Drax gets his moment
This
too when he's
movie is
going
the most
toe-to-toe.
Drax.
Mm-hmm.
Drax. Going Drax.
The most destroyer we've
Yeah.
seen.
This is the most Drax we've had.
But in the particularly the Adam Warlock fight scene.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was good.
Yeah.
Because it was just like a brawl.
It was a big.
It wasn't like this big, heavy fucking CGI
And-
stuff. It was Dave Bautista doing Dave Bautista
Yeah.
stuff.
Just having a
And it show-
wrestling
like,
match.
I like at the very start too how it shows like how hurt Quill is, and he's just like a drunk.
He's an
and
alcoholic.
He's drunk and
Yeah.
sad.
Suppressed alcoholic.
Yeah.
They fumbled Iron Man's sword,
Yeah.
but managed to get started with the alcoholism.
Well, they liked it so much they just gave it to a different character.
This is,
Give me back my Zune.
I think Guardians 3 is a perfect example that, the audience is ready for more mature things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, they gave Peter Quill straight up depression, like,
Yeah, and I mean,
alcoholism, like substance abuse.
and this movie focuses on animal cruelty.
Yeah.
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 And
My God.
we got our first curse word.
First
F-bomb.
F-bomb,
Yeah, first F-bomb.
which
There-
was improv.
There was
Yeah.
a lot
It was.
of cursing in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
This.
There was a lot.
This
He really
movie,
pushed the line with the cursing in this.
This is my thing on the rating. I think they were one punch in the face away from an R rating.
Yeah.
Like I think they used every curse you can imagine.
Yeah.
Some of the fight scenes are pretty decent.
No
The-
blood though.
There's like
That's how they get away with it.
Yeah.
when what's her name? The high
High priestess.
yeah, the high priestess says, "Show 'em we mean business," and he fucking fries the
Yeah.
guy.
Oh,
It's just a melted skeleton.
that's not what I meant.
That's gruesome.
What kind of business can we show him?
No, since we transitioned from Adam Warlock to this, every scene he is.
He is so
He
funny.
nails
Well,
it.
he is really
that
funny.
was one of the scenes where I'm
I
like,
lo-
this guy's doing what he needs to do.
Man, I fucking cracked up in the theater when it was he like invades the ship and she's like, "Come, take one more step," and,
Don't
the,
be
and,
rash.
the, and the weird thing gets it. Well, don't be rash.
He nailed
Died,
everything
man.
he did.
He's
I don't
so
think
funny.
I don't think Adam Warlock for what because he did get kind of nerfed and underused.
He loses every fight.
Every
he's
scene he
in.
was
every
in,
every
he
scene
nails
he in,
it.
he loses the fight.
But again, he's
Yeah.
also only 4. He doesn't understand.
yeah,
his
I mean
powers.
it's
He
very
is only
understood.
4, but we've just been waiting so long for Adam Warlock, a guy who's supposed to be a monster, to come in,
Yeah,
and then to
But
the audience who's sort of excited about that.
I
You
think
have to put that in.
they do
consideration
make it work though.
still.
With explaining, you took him out early, whatever.
Yeah.
Here-
I was gonna say like Aisha even says it
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
high evolutionary.
I think this was the issue is that so James Gunn mapped this out right from Guardians 1 where it was going to be Rocket's
Yeah.
story. It was like Peter Quill's, they leaned to that, but it wasn't actually him. He said right from the beginning, he said Rocket was going to be the protagonist. And then he even said like High Evolutionary was the plan right from the beginning. There was a plan of the other guy, Annihilus.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It was going to be him, but then switched to High Evolutionary because it makes sense when you use the comics. And then he set up Adam Warlock to be the villain in the second one, knowing he wasn't going to be the villain.
Yeah.
So I think that's like he kind of fumbled there. Like, and if people know Adam Warlock, 'cause
He might have also just did that to set it up for a next group of Guardians.
Yeah. Or someone else.
But
to use
he
them.
marketed like
Yeah.
the
He might have-
post credits was like I think he kind of set himself up for
Yeah.
a mistake.
But it
when
it
it was
also-
like market, I'm like the next Guardians movie. This is going to be the villain,
Yeah.
Adam Warlock, and like he gave no hint to the High
At the
Evolutionary.
time, though, it could have also been setting us up to think that he was going to be the good guy to defeat Thanos.
Yeah.
At
It
the
might
time.
have been like.
But that's
Because
you
that's
know,
what it is in the comics.
It might have been like a setup for like Adam Warlock's around if anybody wants to fucking pick him up. Here
Yeah.
I've started
and then
it.
never.
You know, and
Yeah.
also there's this problem of in between 2 and 3, we had this whole
massive
we had
time
this
jump.
whole James Gunn canceled, you know,
Yeah.
everybody
Fired
everybody's
and brought
leaving
back.
thing,
Yeah.
fired, brought back sort of thing, and that delayed the Guardians by like 2 years. So
Yeah.
I mean, things could have changed.
And then there's an Avengers. Then there's a
Then
pandemic.
And
then there's Infinity War and there's Endgame. There's Gamora's dead now. She's back.
And who knows? At this point, James Gunn might have been planning. Maybe I might do something with Adam Warlock that's not a Guardians or something else. But now
Yeah.
he's gone on to bigger and better things.
So yeah, let's do the behind the scenes stuff because you said the firing and
We're
bring
gonna
back.
mute that when he says that.
Behind the scenes, got fired, brought back. He was going to make a Rocket and Groot something.
Origin show,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Like,
well,
movie.
this was before Disney Plus.
well,
So
origin
he,
movie.
he
like
was
a-
going to make a Rocket and Groot movie, just what takes place. I don't know if it was how they met or just what happens between 2 and 3.
That's something I want to see. Is
Yeah.
is
A
Rocket and Groot.
presentation.
Yeah.
Just like a 40-minute thing on how they met or whatever on Disney Plus, like fucking animated.
Yeah.
Give me that for a Valentine's Day special.
But the other thing,
Father's Day.
the big thing is the Gamora thing. He wasn't going to kill, or no,
He
we
wanted
already
to
talked
kill
about the killing
Gamora.
thing.
Yeah.
But the Russo brothers said they were going to offer, and that wasn't part of the plan. So that kind of threw the story
Yeah,
into
but
another
they-
direction. But he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Like what he got, he killed
Yeah.
that.
What the pieces he's putting back together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Like that was a good retcon.
I was shocked to find out that he never had any say in the Guardian scenes in Infinity War. And
He
Endgame.
did. Not a
It's
lot.
Not a lot, but
He had
Yeah.
he had the main thing, like what they're gonna do, how they're gonna act. But when they came to the Gamora thing,
That one was
I think that was
Well,
a compromise.
He said he would never have had Peter Quill punch
do
Thanos.
the punch in the head either.
Yeah.
punch
slap him or
Thanos. He
whatever.
said that was like completely out of character
Yeah.
for him.
but he said he would have done the shooting thing of Gamora. To
Oh,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Which I do agree, man. If you compare Guardians 3 and like even 1 and 2 to like Infinity War, man, the Russos really made Star-Lord an idiot.
Oh, they do.
massive.
in those movies.
but
Like,
they
he
kind of
is-
made
he's dumb as fuck.
no. Taika made Thor really stupid.
Yeah.
They may have gave me my favorite Drax line of
Why is
Gamora?
No,
Gamora.
not anymore.
No, it's the one
After
about, it's the
Volume
one
3.
about the chips.
Mantis, you asshole!
I like when she asks him for the candy and he says, "There's none left."
The Zarg nuts?
Yeah.
There's no more Zarg.
Can I have a Zarg nut? There's none left.
There's none.
No,
and
man.
maybe I would have liked a Zarg nut.
Mantis, you asshole, is one of the fucking funniest moments in that entire
Yeah.
movie.
Also,
I almost cracked
there's-
up losing my fucking shit
Right.
when that
Yeah,
happened.
let's get back to the movie. Let's do the behind the scenes stuff.
The scene where Rocket comes back to life and Nebula's acting when she hears his voice
That's
that-
one of the hardest punches
that
in the movie.
broke me.
So everyone is kind of dissecting this since Guardians. No, not Guardians. Since
Infinity War.
Since Infinity
Yeah,
War, they've been
just
it was
together.
them two.
Yeah.
And I didn't think of that until I
Yeah.
saw it, and I was like,
Well,
holy fuck, it was just them two.
It was
for
them two for like
years.
for 4 years.
Yeah.
But I know we got into it a little in our non-spoiler, but like, and that's showing it. Nebula's character growth has just been insane,
Yep.
and I think that might be what everyone thought Gamora's arc would be, and they just because they sort of in this movie switched
They split it.
places a little bit.
But Gamora, once it was like her and Peter were together, there was nothing
No.
beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like she got it to Thanos' daughter.
It was kind of
thing.
like she finished hers and then
yeah,
she was
like
then
in
she was
Guardians
killed.
1, really,
Yeah.
there was nowhere else for her
No.
after that.
Yeah.
Guardians 2, you
No,
can't,
but,
'cause
like,
whatever. But
I just mean where Gamora is now, like or Nebula, I mean, showing so much growth and like leadership and being a badass is where people wanted to see Gamora
Yeah.
at.
I really loved at the end of this that it was just Gamora and Peter go different ways.
Yeah.
I love that it wasn't
it-
like, okay, we're back together now. I love you again.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that James Gunn was like, no.
No.
This isn't the same person. Peter's let go of that,
Yeah.
and this is like
The
you can't just hold on to things that were.
Yeah.
I like the line too that he says that she says to him. I bet we were fun. Like,
Yeah.
I bet we
Yeah.
were lots of
I,
fun.
I gotta laugh when he's describing Gamora to Gamora, and she's like, "It sounds more like her." And he looks at Nebula and goes, "I've never noticed your eyes are just so black."
The biggest spoiler of all. Nobody dies.
Yeah, nobody, no
Not a
deaths.
person.
Tell that to Teef's
Yeah.
floor and live.
Oh, that's the flashback.
Nah,
for them.
Teef.
Fuck, man.
None of the main Guardians die,
Like
and
the-
they all grow up and go
Rocket
different
Teef's
ways.
floor, leave now. Rocket Teef's floor, leave now.
That's so sad.
Fuck,
Oh.
man.
the
I'm
entire
welling up right now.
the entire movie, I was just waiting for one of the Guardians to die.
And not one person dies.
Like-
Yeah.
There's a couple, not even fake.
No,
outs.
the
I mean,
There
there
was
were
a
two
fake
fake
out.
outs.
There
There
were
was
two.
two fake
But
outs for sure. They
I don't-
faked out Rocket and they faked out Star-Lord.
Once I fucking knew once he did the blowfish face that he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Because I
That-
knew if they were gonna kill him, it would have been the same thing as Yondu. Like, pay
That-
attention.
yeah.
Like the blowfish face takes you out of it.
That
It's
whole
no longer. I
time-
laughed when it happened.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
literally giggled and I'm.
Well,
No.
I knew they couldn't do it. The whole time he was just floating there in space. I'm like, okay, we just seen Warlock. We know he's on the ship. Come on, do your thing, Redemption, fly.
I think when the heaven scene happened. And
They haven't
Rocket
seen like
Lila-
oh, never mind. I thought you were talking about the creation of
Oh.
Adam.
No. So when Rocket talks to Lila,
Yeah.
again, I think at that point I was like, he's not. He's coming back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things where it's like, it's not your time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm back in
Yeah.
because that's been done.
But I don't know. That was my favorite of any fake out death.
We haven't even got
Yeah.
to talk
'Cause,
about
like,
how
I'm like,
good the
it's
high
just so-
evolutionary
We'll
is.
get
Like that time, you're like,
Um,
maybe it makes sense. Like if he goes now, but like we need more from him. And okay, he's back.
Yeah. So have you guys seen like everybody's a lot of people are pointing out like, well, why didn't fucking Peter wear his mask in space?
because I fucking
Yeah,
said this.
I was.
We
looking
went
into
to Boston Pizza after and
Yeah.
discussed this. He wasn't supposed to have that helmet after Volume 2. I
Yes,
fucking
yes,
knew it
'cause
got
it
shattered
broke.
and it wasn't supposed to be brought back. James Gunn himself said
Yeah.
that helmet was not supposed to come back. And I'm so fucking happy
Yeah,
that is a thing.
Yeah, they broke.
Yeah.
He breaks his helmet during
Volume 2.
Volume 2, fighting Ego, and that's why Yondu has to die.
Yeah.
And
then
then
Infinity
and
War
then
just
Infinity
has it.
War, he just has it, which James Gunn tweeted about. Yeah,
Said-
I guess he just somehow
Yeah.
got it back.
And literally like, oh my god, I loved it.
And then he has it again in Endgame, and then people are like, "Well, why doesn't he have it? He's not supposed to
'Cause
have
he's
it."
not
The
supposed to.
Russos were just like, "He has it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
The
god,
Russos
yes.
seen the pictures. I'm winning. Like he needs.
They were
this.
just decided that he's supposed to have it. So
And then
he,
the,
and then James Gunn has to say, "Oh, he forgot it in his desk drawer because
Yeah.
they were in a rush."
Yeah.
the other thing was the rocket boots. He doesn't have the rocket boots. And
Because
Rocket
fucking
made them all jetpacks.
They made them
all
He said that-
jetpacks.
He said it made the rocket boots look like
it's like, what's the
cheap
point?
Excuse me. Hello.
Let's hear.
Our fan.
Hi.
That's Ma going to Taekwondo. Kick some ass.
The
Yeah. Anyway, helmet got shattered.
which makes
As it should be.
made sense. Like
Yeah, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he shouldn't have had it. But
just a
people. are
Maybe
gonna-
Infinity War and Endgame aren't that good.
Wait a
now that I
minute.
look back,
Wait a minute.
Continuity wise, there's some things off.
there is.
the
There's not even like bad things to say about the movie.
There
it's
is
really it's really hard to find
The
something
one,
bad.
like, my biggest problem with the entire movie is what we already said. Like, the soundtrack is just kind of falls short when it's held to the standards of the other two, for
Yeah.
sure.
still a good
And this
soundtrack.
one, he got to play, like, it wasn't like, because one used, I don't know what decade, and two used, I don't know what decade, but then three had
all
everything.
across.
He
Yeah.
had
It
so
was all
much.
over.
And it just,
I feel like that's maybe probably part of the problem
is that it was so much.
is that it was just so like, oh well,
go
here's a
anywhere.
little
Why?
bit of this, the
Yeah.
era, there's a little bit of this, and
The
But
fucking
it just fell.
The other ones he's constrained to 10 years, so he's finding what he needs best after that.
yeah, I mean it was
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
Ah!
Don't get me wrong.
Well-
I did very much enjoy No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Especially with that fucking scene it was with.
The scene
Yeah.
was so
Oh
good.
my god, that oneer.
That's
is
one of
so
the-
fucking sick.
It's one of the best.
One of the best scenes.
Do you see the thing that's became Chris Pratt's soundtrack for this year?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because he uses it in
Oh
Mario.
yeah, it's in Mario.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Somebody made a TikTok and it was
If
like,
if I had a nickel
Yeah.
for every time that I saw a Chris Pratt movie in May with No Sleep Till Brooklyn on the soundtrack, I'd have 10 cents, which isn't a lot, but it's weird to
Weird
have.
to have
But
twice.
I'd have 2 nickels.
anyway, soundtrack was probably my least favorite.
Yeah.
And the
That
I don't even care about the Adam Warlock thing. He made up for it by being
No, I
so
don't. I mean,
good.
I don't care about it.
And
It's
I
just
think
a little thing that I think
this,
was the problem
since
with
we're
it.
in the spoilers, by the time you hit the post-credit scene, there's a new team of Guardians.
Yeah.
And Adam Warlock is now a Guardian of the
Whole new
Galaxy,
squad.
which is accurate because I think he
And
usually
I
is.
think when we see them again, that's when we're going to see the Adam Warlock we want to see.
Yeah,
Yep.
like by then he'll have
He's-
the training.
And it's
you know.
also, and since we're talking about that scene, that's King Groot. Like,
Yo,
Yo,
yeah.
yeah.
that's King
My
Groot.
man went on a ball.
Oh,
Yeah, oh, yeah. he did.
Ball.
I find it extremely funny that the only Guardians that we have left at the end of the movie
Rocket and Groot.
are the two that don't have to physically be there.
Like,
are the two
oh,
that
yeah,
are just
yeah, yeah.
that just do the voice
Like
acting
you mean-
for it because
yeah.
it's so. I
Well-
mean, in no way is voice acting easy, but it's a lot easier than 4 hours of makeup as Drax the Destroyer.
oh,
You think,
and
uh,
Rocket's the only
You think we'll ever
original.
see any of the
Groot.
Guardians? Like,
Different Groot, but still.
Two different
Yeah.
conversations happening at once. Reel it back.
What? Do you think we'll ever see any of the Guardians, or are they all going to be done and retired?
No, I think like Kang Dynasty. You're
The legendary Star-Lord will return.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that separate in a second.
I don't understand what that was.
I do, and I'll tell you.
He gets his own comic book.
That okay,
Like
we're
Star-Lord-
going there then.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I
That-
wasn't waiting for you
No.
to.
That's his when he first gets introduced in the comics.
That's what he is. The
That's
legendary Star-Lord.
his first run in the comics, the legendary Star-Lord, and it takes place on Earth.
I
And-
just don't see that happening.
And wait,
They're
wait,
gonna
wait.
do something.
Do you know who he ends up marrying and dating?
She-Hulk.
Nope,
She-Hulk.
Nope.
She-Hulk.
nope.
Just saying.
Just say
He ends
yes.
up dating Kitty Pryde from the X-Men and like marrying her, and like having yeah.
There's
So
a lot
like,
of people.
I just don't really see
you could shelf him for
the
a while.
whole. I think it's just like when they say legendary Star-Lord will return. My thought goes to like, okay, the Guardians are coming back because everybody knows the Guardians are coming back. Also, while yes, he is stepping away, Star-Lord is stepping away, he's gonna come back. Like,
Well-
because it's not like Mantis is up in the air, like if she's coming back, but like this is being like, no, Star-Lord will
Return.
come
well,
back.
he
'Cause
did
I
say.
think-
Sorry, you go.
I'm probably wrong. My ideology
Big word.
is that I was trying to focus. Is that the Guardians being in uniform doing their thing? Like that's like basically without putting the fucking words up there saying Guardians will return. That's them. That's
Yeah.
him saying like
That's what I mean.
they're back. And actually, he even said, "Fuck, I love how much James Gunn just admits everything."
Yeah.
He said he talked to Kevin Feige about like what like plans.
Like where they
Beyond,
would,
yeah.
like what he thinks they would be
Yeah.
doing.
So
after.
they're not done. They're gonna come back.
There's
and,
no
like,
way they're done. They wouldn't
And it's his
assemble a whole
characters,
new
like,
team
yeah.
to be like,
Yeah.
and then they lived happily ever after.
Rode off
Yeah.
into the sunset.
Yeah.
Well,
So he had his say. Like I'm sure the conversation was basically like, oh, well, if we want to do this and this and this and this and like they are his characters. And Chris Pratt being on Earth in retirement mode, like he had to get the moment where it's like he's gonna come back.
That's
like,
what I mean.
Like,
That's what
watch
I mean.
for it. He'll be back. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Is
like you guys were saying, like, oh, they're probably gonna do like a Disney Plus show or something like that.
They're not doing a Disney Plus.
I
show.
just feel like that's looking in too much into just the fact that they put the word legendary in front of it, and I think that just
I don't even think that.
I don't think it's as significant as
like the
as it
actual
seems.
name.
Yeah.
Or the post credit. No, the name I don't.
I think it's just
Ego calls him that in the second
Yeah.
Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, he tries to refer to himself as that much
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
So I feel like calling him the legendary Star.
No, I don't think that's
It's just a
anything.
joke.
I
yeah,
think-
it
yeah.
is. It's just title. Like
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
I said the show because what is there really else for his character besides going back to the Guardians? Give me 6 episodes of him trying
Way too
to
much
be
money.
a guy on Earth and still be a superhero in some
I just
sort of
don't
capacity.
I just don't see them going for that kind
Remember
of
when we
aspect.
talked about the money thing?
Oh yeah.
So and the people are putting on TikTok what each person got paid,
Yeah.
and Chris Pratt got $10 million for this.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's not for like
that's
a
like
movie though.
for not really. I like Chris Evans
That's-
and
yeah,
RJ got 50 million.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
that's not a
No,
lot.
that no,
okay, yeah, no.
not a lot for
Well, he's only had 3
these movies.
movies.
Yeah.
But he's a
5
megastar
technically.
now.
He is now.
Yeah.
He's part of like 3 different billion-dollar franchises.
Did you see?
Yeah.
Did you see what the fucking paper said that his grandfather was reading?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon
yeah,
abducted
Kevin
by
Bacon.
aliens.
And
Tells
see,
all.
that's what made like been looking into that more still gives me hope. We'll get something. I know it's a far shot, but
again.
Like I said,
I just think he's just going to be back in it. I don't
Well,
even think it's going to be like
it's-
Star-Lord,
no.
the movie. I think it's just going to be like, oh, here's Avengers.
also
oh, Star-Lord's here.
we 100% see them all in Secret Wars.
Yeah. I think we see
Maybe
we
not
see
King
the
Dynasty, but Secret
we
Wars.
see the
definitely.
current team and Star-Lord, I think, is what's going to be in the next Avengers movie. And I think that's all that means by he's going to return.
I could see him becoming an Avenger.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could
like
see him.
with
I
the,
could see him
like,
like
you know,
that, but
'cause then
I
it's
just
like-
mean like I don't think we're
'cause
getting a
you know-
Star-Lord spin-off solo movie, Disney Plus. I don't see that for. Like, I don't think that's going to be our next appearance of him. Is going to be, hey, I'm Star-Lord.
No,
I do my
definitely
own
not.
thing.
Jesus,
Because he does know Doctor Strange.
There's
and,
a
like,
couple things in the next few years that he could easily
Yeah.
pop up
Yeah.
in.
one thing we got to talk about for sure is the high
The boy.
evolution.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's getting his own segment. He was
One thing I want to say
beyond good.
is this just proves you don't need a villain to be like some understanding, like, oh, my mom didn't love me, bad guy. Some people can just be bad people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could just be a bad dude and just
I love that he's just a bad guy that stayed bad.
yeah, he's just a. I love Rocket's line when he's talking to him about like shaping the world, and he's like, just going on to him. He's like, "You're not trying to make it a perfect world." He's just like, "You're just basically scared."
You just hated things
Yeah.
the
I
way
think-
they were.
My favorite line from him is when he screams, "There's no God. That's why I stepped."
There is no God. That's why I
man.
stepped
Look,
in.
I love that we got those scenes of him and Rocket, of him almost being like a father figure, and then immediately
Breaking
going,
his
"You're
arm.
nothing. You will
But
die.
he's but
I'm
he's
killing
smarter
you."
than him though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's smarter than the high evolutionary.
Yeah.
I
He-
Smarter, maybe not on the same
Smarter.
level.
He solves the.
yeah, but
He solves one of his
One-
problems.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
One of
mean.
his
The
things.
one thing that nobody else could figure out, Rocket figured that out.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know. I think the high evolutionary is overall smarter.
Yeah.
I
He's
don't-
just showing that he created someone with intellect close to him.
Yeah.
Something that was pointed out on the internet as it does its thing is when they showed in the intro where he's doing the hand thing, and it's like this
Yeah.
spooky little moment, and then the next time you see him, he's just a regular dude.
Yeah.
That was just, I don't know, tones being wrong.
And it's kind of fucked that he created like the
Sovereign?
Yeah, the sovereign.
The
He
Sovereign,
created-
the Anti-Men. I
Like,
forget
he-
the
yeah,
other
there's
ones.
3 that he
There was-
created.
The fake Bebop and Rocksteady.
There was no okay. I watched it again. There was no Rhino.
It's
There
not a
isn't?
rhino?
There's no Rhino thing. The whole
Oh.
the whole movie. There's no Rhino thing. You guys were saying it's Bebop and Rocksteady.
I didn't.
I don't know which
That
is which.
was
I
me.
don't know
Yeah.
which is
Two
Bebop
of
and which is Rocksteady.
One of them's not
I
a-
assume Rocksteady is the Rhino because it
Yeah.
sounds more Rhino-y.
Bebop's the warthog,
But
Yeah.
but
or whatever. the pig.
the Bebop in this War Pig, voiced by Judy Greer,
Yeah.
also the mother in.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Yes.
it is. The mother in
That's
Ant-Man.
iconic.
Yeah.
Also-
and the other one's just the bird. It's the bird the whole
bird?
time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's like a bird. It's got a beak, so I know it's not a rhino. But yeah, it was definitely not a rhino. But there are a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle references.
Well, the
There
Groot.
is.
Yeah.
Groot's head running around like.
And then
a
there's
little
straight
alien
up
head.
a teenage turtle.
Yeah, they make it and fucking No Sleep Till Brooklyn, which was
Yeah.
in the new fucking.
I like
That song's
Turtles.
making its rounds.
I like how he made Counter Earth, the High Evolutionary, and it's like basically all the same problems that Earth has.
Yeah.
There's drug dealing, like
That's crime.
This is one of the only other problems that I have with the movie. But I think it's just the Guardians
know
in
what it
space. We've already talked about this when we went on afterwards, but it's every being in every corner of the galaxy making Earth references.
Oh yeah.
And like everybody knows what squirrels are and badgers are and like all these things, but nobody.
knows what a raccoon
Yes.
is.
But then like nobody knows what a raccoon is, but everybody knows a squirrel and
Yeah.
badger, even though they're from different planets and whatever. Like Adam Warlock is referring to Rocket Raccoon as a squirrel. It's like you were just born. You definitely haven't been to Earth and found a squirrel, so it's like I don't know. It's just like that's the only thing for me that's like okay, come on. But I mean, it's part of the joke. So I mean, that's
But Rocket Raccoon
laugh.
finally
Enjoy it.
acknowledged he's a raccoon.
it finally, man. That was big too, man. I was
I would've,
really happy about that.
I would have. I know the F-bomb. I would have liked to see Rocket say it, like when he pulls the gun. He goes, "I'm Rocket
No,
fucking."
it makes
Raccoon."
so
Well,
much more sense that it was Star-Lord.
And it was Star-Lord, and he just kept throwing it in scenes.
Yeah.
He said he's been doing that since the first movie, and he finally got
trying
it
to
in.
Trying to get
them
it, sneak it
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
he got it.
I was initially in the camp of like, yeah, like save it for a big moment, but then I think it's
Better
almost cheesy at that point. Like I think you said, it's like the
Yeah.
Titans,
fuck
like
Batman.
fuck Batman. It's
Yeah.
like it's
Or I would have liked
it's
it.
too much.
I would have liked it when he
the Guardians,
the
of
Guardians
fucking
of the
Galaxy.
fucking galaxy.
No.
Because
Yeah,
when he
but
does
that's
that's
the
what I
fuck
mean,
Batman
yeah.
energy. It's too.
But this is
Well,
just
they do that in 2 when he said when Groot goes, "We're the Guardians of the freaking galaxy," and he
Yeah.
didn't
Only
say,
he didn't
only
say
he didn't
freak.
say
Yeah,
freak.
but
Yeah.
but then there's the
Then
humor
it's-
in that
yeah,
of
that's a better
and
joke.
and it's also coming from Baby Groot.
yeah.
This
But
is the thing
we're
too.
all everyone has also been in the same mode as Star-Lord at that point, where it's just like, okay, stop fucking around, get in the fucking car.
Yeah.
yeah, literally. Those who have drove 1990 Honda Civics and Accords know the struggle. Open the fucking door.
No,
Sid just
automatic.
said the Groot thing.
"Oh,
The
God."
I love you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is
man.
confirmed that it was like,
Oh.
no, he didn't speak English. You guys are apart now, and you
Yeah.
can also understand
Everybody
him.
can just understand Groot now.
Woo!
Oh man.
Does he
Yeah,
speak
I-
full English in the next
James
movie?
Gunn wrote that down, and he said, "I did it."
He said, and then this is the
Cinema.
best. We like when I went again and saw with Logue and my parents, and he says, "I love you guys" at the end, and Logan's up. He's like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah!
And he looked over. He's like, "What?"
That was my reaction. I literally got out of my
He's
seat.
like,
I didn't know what to do.
"Why
I
aren't-"
was like,
he was like, "Why aren't they freaking out?" I was like, "Because we understand him now." And he went, "No."
But his reaction, same thing as when I first watched it.
Yeah.
And I looked at everyone's face and like, they didn't do none?
Yeah.
wicked. James
Yeah,
Gunn running out with flames on his
me and
pen.
you were out of the seats.
I
man.
hopped out with my arms. I didn't know what to do in the moment, and I just
You just
fucking-
flailed your arms a
I
bit.
just got overwhelmed. The people probably saw my hands go
Yeah.
in front of them too and everything. And I'm like, oh my god, it was so fucking good.
Oh man,
Even-
that is beautiful,
That's
man.
just-
That is
I'm telling you,
so.
he wrote that. His pen was on fire.
He was-
He said, "I'm done with it."
He fucking yeah, man. He walked away from that. He said, "I've just
I did it.
created
I did it.
I've created
I made it,
cinema
man.
masterpiece.
I did it."
Him and Vin Diesel in the booth just going, "We did it."
Oh man, that's
Glenn
that's
does
one of
raise
the
a good
best.
question though. Does that mean we'll understand him in Guardians 4?
I mean, I think that's why they purposely he doesn't say anything at the end.
Yeah.
When they do that final scene of like,
Oh, they leave it
Groot,
vague.
wake up. He doesn't
Yeah.
fucking say anything.
No.
Because
Yeah.
I think he's got to figure out is he going to be English
Yeah.
now or what's it going to be?
I think maybe
It's probably all up to Vin Diesel.
a good way of like, if they did it,
Vin Diesel will probably be pissed.
is it because he's collecting like
He's collecting bank for
bang
saying
just for
I
saying
am
it.
Groot.
But
Yeah.
he said, like, when he does that, he says he has to record that like hundreds of times in different
No,
tones,
and
languages,
Different
and
tones,
shit.
everything. He
Thousands
does
of
all the
times.
Like,
languages.
he's still doing a
Yeah.
lot of work.
Because I
with
mean,
it.
if you do like a movie, if you do like something like this and you throw it over into like Japan or something like
Yeah.
that, they usually get dubs
Yeah.
for everyone
But
else.
he does-
But
And he does it
Vin
all.
Diesel does them all.
I think he said he's done that, the I Am Groot in different languages and reflections over 10,000 times so far.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Probably
No doubt of that, man.
something like that. Yeah. But fuck man.
Because I watched a video of him just going, I am Groot, I am Groot!
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes.
People, just because we kind of skipped past him before, the High Evolutionary, people are now calling for him to be
Kang,
the
yeah.
replacement for Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Oh,
Fucking-
Run it up.
Honestly, man,
I don't think
I-
free Jonathan Majors.
I have to say, like,
if he's innocent.
I didn't think.
Free him anyway.
I didn't think. I'm not going to attempt to say the actor who played.
Chuck Woody Awaji.
Nah, I'm not going to attempt that. But I've only ever seen him in one other thing, and it was Peacemaker. I didn't realize that dude had it like he does.
he's got
Yeah,
range.
man.
Man, he
Yeah.
is
He
good.
fucking killed him.
I
man.
like-
You could see from just Peacemaker that he was good.
Oh,
but then
Peacemaker,
he
he had that-
shined in this.
Yeah.
He had that thing to him, Peacemaker, but this just took it to a whole nother level. He
Actually, I have-
made a star out of himself. in this
Picture
movie.
like these are the exact two things of pictures like when in Quantumania when Majors yells that I am King, that line,
Yeah.
and the other guy yelling like there's no God, like those two.
Oh.
Same energy.
That's why I stepped in. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh.
And then him making fun of Rocket for crying. He's like, "Ah, you win the crying contest."
Yeah.
he's just
He's
a,
evil.
he's just
He,
an evil bully.
He is.
The only
I don't like
complaint,
bullies.
not even a complaint now that I think about it, is that they kind of nerf him. Like he's at the start, he's like throwing Adam up against the wall and holding.
I said this, yes.
Yeah. But, like and then at the end fight, he kind of just gets.
Well, because the whole thing, he's messing with gravity, and then Rocket has the gravity boots, which allows him to then not be affected by his gravity fucking arms or whatever. And then at that point, everybody's just wailing on him, so he doesn't really get a chance to regroup himself.
And I said this to you guys, and I haven't seen any more on it. I still like to think this is myself. This is why he ended up being so weak, as he said earlier. He's using all of his mind focus to be able to do this. He figured out if he doesn't focus on anything else, he can do crazy things.
We get the cool high evolutionary scene cut too.
He's now using too much of his focus on Rocket, and he's weakening himself because he doesn't have that focus anymore for his powers.
I mean, chalking it up with a question mark.
Yeah,
they do kind of say that, set that up where he's like, I used to focus on your friend or whatever, and now gravity bends my will because I no longer worry about him.
Once he starts worrying about him, he gets significantly weaker. And it might be nothing, but there's the point in there where it could work. If James Gunn goes, oh yeah.
Since you saw it twice, does Adam Warlock use rocket boots to fly?
No, he flies on his own.
Thank you. I fucking thought so. And everybody had me questioning it.
And Jeremy's sitting at home.
No, he just kind of.
Because everybody was like, "Why is he using rocket boots? Like one of his powers is flight." And I was like, "Oh my god."
No, he just kind of flies. Yeah.
Fantastic. See, Adam Warlock.
I think the only thing maybe that might be coming from is like there's a point when he's flying away after getting stabbed, and he kind of like, and then like gets out. He like kind of.
Probably because he's bleeding internally.
Yeah,
it's performance issues. It happens.
It happens when it happens.
Well, the dude did have a massive sword through the chest, so it's understandable.
So let's get back to Garrett and how he hates that James Gunn's wife was in this.
Yes.
Let's not do this on the internet.
Not just his wife, but all of his friends.
All of his friends, literally
Pete Davidson's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the pig that Mantis. He voices the pig.
Oh
yeah.
Wait, the pig? What pig?
I don't think he's no.
Oh, you mean Lamb Shank?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the pig that Mantis
Pete
goes,
Davidson.
I saw people saying that was James Gunn, but that's
No, it's
hilarious.
Pete
There's
Davidson.
whatever that scene is. James Gunn and Pete Davidson are in that together.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's whatever those creatures are. It's them too. It is Pete Davidson who was in
That's
the
hilarious.
Squad. Squad.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's just casting.
Literally name a James Gunn, a friend of James Gunn. They're in this movie.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Michael Rosenbaum's in it twice.
He's really good in this.
He's the ice guy, but he's also a guard that gets beat up at Orgo Corp at one point.
Oh, he is too. Yes, I remember seeing the face.
And then fucking Michael Rooker shows up in this again. They've been friends for forever.
This is a losing argument.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion killed it
Nathan-
in this movie.
He did.
It's so unnecessary how good Nathan
I have
Fillion
a
was.
friend
in
like
this.
that.
I really thought Nathan Fillion was going to kill Drax.
Oh my
I thought
god.
he was too. Yeah.
I'm like,
He blasts him a couple times.
They
pretty
kind
good.
of overemphasize that scene to not really do anything with it.
I was like, are you really going to have Nathan Fillion kill Drax?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
It's working right now.
Mantis, you asshole.
That was one of the problems that my parents had, though, was the fucking Michelin Man suits that they had on.
Well, I get it. It looks really bad.
Yeah.
But my God,
They're like, I don't know
I don't
what's
know.
going on
I
here,
sort of
but-
loved Nathan Fillion. Don't worry, we have one of those.
Oh, I got one
my
of those.
God.
Twice. Dropped that twice.
Nathan
I get
Fillion
it.
in that movie is so good for no reason at all.
You get some decent screen time too.
He really did. I
Probably
didn't
got,
think he was
like,
gonna get that much. I thought it was
7
gonna be
minutes or
Definitely
something.
longer
Like,
than 7 minutes.
But man, he was so
They're in-
fucking funny in that movie.
They're in the core for a while there.
And also, just because I got a flex, I watched The Rookie, and The Rookie comes out on Mondays, I believe. So the week they had their season finale air was the same week that Guardians premiered, and in that episode, Nathan Fillion wears the Guardians of the Galaxy T-shirt.
Oh,
there we go.
That's sick.
Does he actually?
Yeah,
That's pretty.
So
dope.
he was representing his buddy,
That's
while his
really
buddy's
dope.
representing him.
Yeah.
everything goes full circle.
Yeah. But fuck, man.
His wife was in it.
His
Oh
wife was
my
in it, man.
God.
I'm furious.
And she wasn't in a prominent role. I watched G's knuckles fucking clench when that happened.
Look how mad I am. I'm so genuinely angry about this.
Why would anyone ever hire their friends and
But
family?
Leonardo
God,
DiCaprio
ever.
can play Martin Scorsese.
From all of us at Comics and Cold
Who would
War, this
hire
has
their
been
wife?
our Guardians of the Galaxy review.
And I have the worst take ever.
We
Well.
don't have a problem with it. As a group,
As a collective group,
As a
we have
collective
no issue
group,
with it.
I love that his wife was in
Hey,
it, and I think it's great.
if
I
you
think
wanna
she's-
help your
I think
friends-
she's a great actress, and she was in a very minor role. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's even better that she's a major role in fucking Peacemaker because she's great.
Hey, if you want to help your friends
Kill
get
it,
the
though.
bag, Get him paid.
Get the
Final
bag.
final thoughts here. Anything else to say?
Oh, fuck, man. Go watch it.
Emotional-
Go watch it, finish it, and then after that, go watch it again. 'Cause
Emotionally heartbreaking for 2.5 hours.
Watch it in the
my God.
movies because apparently there's a big problem with people waiting for these movies to come out to Disney Plus. Watch it in the
Oh.
fucking theater.
Watch it.
No, these movies have such a better feel in the theaters.
Return.
Imagine sitting home on your couch in your living room and watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like,
I
five
will
trailers.
do that.
I will.
Oh,
I am going to do it, but I'm going to give them my
But,
money
like,
a couple times
the
first.
first
Yeah.
time you hear a Drax say a great funny line, like anything, him telling Mantis off, you hear the whole crowd just erupt, and
Yeah.
it's like, this is why I'm here. This is why cinema needs to be alive.
This kind of returned back to like Marvel old form, like good stuff,
Formula.
Yeah,
like
it's
the good stuff.
it's definitely some reviews saying the heart of the MCU and best shit since Endgame. All that
And
stuff is
yes,
true,
I
man.
agree.
It absolutely is.
It's just like, that's what happens when you trust your
It's
directors
fucking-
and writers.
It's
Yeah.
James Gunn, man. He knows how to put.
Yes,
He knows how to put heart in just like the most
Dude, I
absurd
don't know.
things, and really just make everything like just so
When-
fucking good.
I don't know. I find when you let a nerdy guy just make nerdy movies, they turn out so much better.
They do.
Yeah, like
'Cause they know what they're doing. They
Yes.
know. But James Gunn's thing is like, he takes like certain characters and gives them one thing
Yeah.
to grab onto.
Yeah.
Like fucking.
He adds the comic book accurate things that need to be there and changes the other things that don't really
Yeah.
need to be.
Oh,
The
I
suits.
I just
Great
love,
touch.
like
Do you have a
I
favorite,
think
do you have
I-
a favorite character from it?
from Guardians.
Yeah, from 3.
What's her name? What's her name? James Gunn's wife.
Oh, also, what's her name?
Girl gets shot in the leg.
Uda
Uda.
is Ratcatcher.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she is, yeah.
Didn't realize
There
that
was
too.
such a big thing. I
We were
remember.
upset about that.
I remember there was such a big thing about her when she got casted.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
she
we were
gotta
like,
be-
oh, it's probably Lila or
Yeah.
whatever.
Nope.
whatever. No, that was the
Linda Cardellini.
Your girl.
Cardellini.
Lila Lindell. Uh-oh. There's been a glitch in the.
My favorite of this, probably the guy from Superstore.
Monteo.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No, I think
Him and his big fat gray head.
I don't know, man. I think
Drax is up
It's
there for
always
me.
Drax
man.
for me.
I Nebula might be my favorite. in this.
Nebula's a
Yeah.
good pick.
My top,
Nebula man really fucking hurt me in this.
I think top 3 would be like Drax, Nebula, and Warlock.
I think Groot was really good. I was not excited for Swole Groot at all because I really like the original Groot, like fucking
The old,
Like,
tall
yeah.
one.
yeah, OG. I think his design is great. I just really liked him. And then since him, I was like, Baby Groot, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Grogu.
Teen Groot.
Teen Groot was like, fucking give it up. And then Swole Groot, I was like, no, I feel like this just isn't gonna work for me. But he was really good.
And he's just a walking artillery.
and
I
then-
just saw like all these new
That scene's
like,
really good,
creative
too.
things
Yeah.
from Groot, like him having all the guns. When he gets the wings, he does the kaiju
Yeah.
Groot.
I was running. It just Quill kept screaming, "Just kill them all, Groot! Just kill them all!"
King Groot in the end. Is
We had a plan. I am Groot. You jumped from a building from 10,000 feet? That was your plan?
Was it a good plan?
Yeah,
Anywho.
it's a fucking good movie, man. Watch it 10 times.
Final
watch
thoughts?
James Gunn's DC Universe.
It's definitely certified gold.
100%
Certified gold.
Icy out the freezer cold.
It might
bro.
be one of the iciest movies we've got.
I think I'm gonna have to watch everything James Gunn makes from now on. I think and it's just gonna be as simple as that.
I have only recently stacked this, looked at it, whatever. Superman is probably my number one anticipated DC thing now.
Yeah.
And he's to me fucking beforehand it was whatever, but now after seeing all the Guardians
Superman
movies,
is so white bread.
and
normally.
he's like James Gunn specifically, he's like, no, this is like a passion project for me. I'm this is almost dedicated to his
Yeah.
father type thing.
Yeah.
Bro is gonna fucking
yeah, he's gonna kill it, man.
Didn't he say this is going to be a different Superman than we've seen before?
He got crypto.
Yeah.
This is becoming
There's a
I
lot
love
of
Super Dogs.
there's a lot
Cosmo
of rumors
killed it
that
also.
Chris
Cosmo,
Pratt
animals,
yeah.
is
animals, bro. He did whatever he does
does-
with animals.
he
I
does
don't know
well.
what it is. He just fucking
He did
nails
good.
it.
He did good with Scooby Doo.
Eagly.
Yeah.
He did write Scooby Doo.
Yeah, he did really good at Scooby Doo too.
Eagly, everything that was Guardians
Eagly.
related. Crypto's gonna be one of the best
Oh.
things.
Weasel.
Fucking,
Weasel, yeah.
we don't.
Everybody loved Weasel.
Yeah. So much that he'll be
I did
back.
hate that his brother was the person behind Weasel.
Yeah,
But
and his wife was in
Yeah.
that movie.
From all of us here at Comics and Cold Ones, this has been a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Let us know what you think. Thank you and have a good day.